Hello everybody. Okay, this is going to be a little bit harder, and this might be a little bit improvised and freestyle, but I'm trying to go and explain how I choose between AP and AD Shaco, and I think the easiest way is going to be going through one of my Smurf accounts and running you through the thought process of why I picked AP and why I picked AD. Now before I say anything, this account, yes, it's gold 2, but if you look at the win rate, I'm 28 to 2 losses, which means my MMR of each game is around Diamond 4. So I play against Diamond 4 people, with Diamond 4 people on my team, even though I'm gold. Just a heads up, because yeah, I think that's very important. Because my first point would be, in lower elo, I'd say until about Platinum, I would recommend mostly playing AD Shaco, because it's just a lot easier to carry with AD Shaco. You can abuse the fact that you have a split push, you can one-shot people reliably, and especially if you're really fed, it becomes super easy on AD Shaco to carry. And since most people don't know how to itemize in lower elo, it still is very easy to solo carry games with AD Shaco only. Until about Platinum Elo for me is the breaking point. Now for you that breaking point might be different. You might also play AP Shaco in Gold Elo or even in Silver Elo. That's fine. I'm just trying to run you through how I see things and how I choose. Because my second point would be, this is all personal preference. There is no golden rule of thermodynamics. I'm just kidding. There's no rule when to go AP and when to go AD that applies to every single game. It's really all about preference and intuition mostly. The first kind of rule, now I'm kind of contradicting my statement, but the first rule I would say there is, but that's not just specific to Shaco, but like to most champions, is if your team is very AP heavy, which means you have a lot of AP damage on your team. Now, let's see, for example, this game, right? So we have Maokai. No, sorry, that's the wrong team. I'm done. We have Fiddlesticks, we have Vigar, and we have Ari. All of them deal magic damage. Now Nasus deals both magic damage and physical damage, mostly physical damage. But if I were to go AP in this game, right? If I were to go AP, we would have 4 and a third AP damage in our team. Which means this guy is going to go Spirit Visage and Merc Treads and just all the magic resist items that exist in the game, and he is unkillable. This guy is going to go Merc Dreads and another magic resist item, and he's unkillable. This guy is just going to build Banshees and is going to block all of our spells, also going to build Merc Dreads, and he's unkillable. This guy has Lulu Peel, is going to go Wit's End and, I don't know, the Scimitar thingy which gives magic resist, and he's unkillable. So we really fuck ourselves over if we stack multiple AP damage sources. So that's why you want to try and adapt and pick what your team needs. So yeah, in this game we had triple AP, so if I go AP2, that's bad, so I go AD. That's the first kind of rule. Now this obviously works vice versa as well. If your team is very AD heavy, you should probably try and look to go AP. The second rule is that again, this is personal, this is how I see things. Into Rek'Sai, I never go AD Shaco. The reason for that is Rek'Sai's passive, or I think it's the passive on her W, she basically sees invisible champions. She doesn't actually see them, but she sees those sonar thingies on the ground, and she knows that somebody is nearby. That's a big problem, because if you're trying to flank the enemy team or trying to one-shot the enemy AD carry, but Rek'Sai is burrowed under the ground and sees you approaching, the entire team is just going to throw skill shots at you while you're invisible, and you're pretty much dead. There's nothing you can do. So that's why I never go AD Shaco into Rek'Sai, because the AP Shaco playstyle is a lot more safer and doesn't require you to be on top of the enemy team and try to one-shot the AD carry, or AP carry or whatever. So yeah, don't pick AD into Rek'Sai in my opinion. Again, you might have success with AD into Rek'Sai, especially in Silver Elo. Most Rek'Sai players don't even know that they have this passive. I'm just saying this is how I see things. Now the same thing for Karthus. I've played against a lot of Karthuses, especially because he's very broken. I hate this champion, it's my permaban. It used to be in permaban, now it's Graves, because Graves got, you know, a little bit of a buff, and he's kind of broken at the moment. But the thing about Karthus is, he out-farms you. Like, he's so much faster in the jungle. His first clear is faster than ours, which is dumb, because we're supposed to have the fastest first clear, but that's besides the point. He out-farms you for the entire game, he's always 2 levels ahead of you by just perma-clearing his jungle, And he can also out-gank you by simply pressing R. He can gank 3 lanes at the same time. Yeah, it doesn't matter how far behind this guy is, he presses R once, gets a double kill, he's back into the game. Now, that might not seem problematic, but the problem is, in late game or mid game, if you try to assassinate a Karthus, unless you're if you are 20-0 and you have full build at minute 20, sure, you can probably go, get away with 80 shotgun to Karthus, but I feel like, especially in higher elo, this is unwinnable. Minute 20, you're not going to one-shot him, and even if you do one-shot him, he will one-shot you too. And he will also still have R, which means he had more impact on your team than you had on his team. Also his passive, obviously, he can still spam Qs, he still has his E active, and even if you kill him before he kills you, again, his passive, his R is still up, so you would have to save your R for his R, but if you save your R, you're probably not going to one-shot him, so you see where this is going. Karthus always builds Zhonya's too, or not always, but like, it's really beneficial for him. His E stays in Zhonya's, so yeah, this is just, I hate this matchup for AD Shaco. I wouldn't recommend it. Again, if you find success with AD Shotgun to Karthus, go ahead, do your thing. I don't like it though. Same thing with Echo and Nidalee. This is, you can probably get away more easily with AD Shaco here. I just hate Nidalee players, and whenever I go AD Shaco, then immediately goes Iceborne Gauntlet into Zhonya's and then Ninja Tabis, and I basically don't exist anymore. And yeah, Echo, just because for some reason Echo always gets fed. And if you're AD Shaco and you try to one-shot Echo, he just reverse one-shots you. So yeah, that's my reasoning. I don't go AD into Rek'Sai, Karthus, Echo, or Nidalee. Now the next thing you might want to look at is, can I even one-shot enemy squishies when I go AD Shaco? Sometimes it's really impossible. Sometimes going AD Shaco is not going to work simply because you can't one-shot enemy carries. Obviously you can work around that by just becoming really, really fed early game and having insanely good macro, but especially if you're in your peak elo and you're basically even in terms of skill and macro with the enemy team, you getting ahead is going to be very, very coin flippy. So if you can't one-shot enemy carries, for example, if they have Xayah Rakan on bot lane, the Rakan usually runs Guardian, and then Xayah has her R, and she can potentially build Phantom Dancer, you're never in your life going to one-shot her. It's impossible. Rakan is Guardian, he Rs you, he charms you, Xayah Rs herself, just walks backwards, gets back her feathers, and you're dead. There's nothing you can do. There's very little counterplay. You could obviously one-shot the enemy AP carry, but again, if you can't one-shot that either, you probably shouldn't go AD, and you should probably look for the AP playstyle, which is more control-based, with your boxes and your ult explosion and stuff, where you don't need to necessarily one-shot the enemy carries. Okay, so yeah, I think those are the kind of rules I would say you should look at every single game. Now, I'm going to go over a couple of my games from this account. I'm going to run you through why I picked AP or why I picked AD. Now this game, the first or the second rule applies. I face a Nidalee, which I really fucking hate, and since we have Sivir and Darius, if I were to go AD2, it would be super easy for Malphite to first of all stack armor. Malphite gets an insane amount of armor from his W passive, I think it is. Nidalee just gets armor. This guy gets what's it called, Zhonya's, and this guy builds PD and Tabis, and you're pretty much just useless. There's nothing you can do this game. You're out of the game forever, and it's going to be really hard for you to get anything done mid-game. This game, we already ran over this, but we have 3 APs in our team, so I'm not going to go AP as well. So yeah, AD is the obvious choice here. Now this game is also, I could have gone AP. You could argue I could have gone AP, but I really thought I was going to snowball this a lot harder with AD Shaco. I really thought I could get a lot more kills early game, and then this is really easy because I can one-shot those two fairly consistently. I can one-shot this guy consistently. This guy might have Zhonya's, this guy might have Tabis and stuff, but like this should be fine. Sadly, it didn't work out so well. I could have gone AP, but for me personally, again, sometimes you deviate from those rules. Sometimes you don't follow the rules. Sometimes you just go with your intuition. Again, it's all personal preference. It's not like the golden rule that you have to follow every game. It's over the time you develop your own kind of playstyle, which means you have your own intuition, if that makes sense. Especially if you're very familiar with the AP playstyle and the AD playstyle, eventually you will have a feeling for it yourself. Now this game is, I think, really obvious as well. AD source, AD source, AD source. If you were to go AD as well, everyone just builds armor, game is over. Especially because you have 2 assassins and Twitch, so yeah, obvious AP game here. This game, we have AP damage, AP damage, AP damage, and then if I go AP damage as well, it becomes really, really ugly, especially because first of all it's Graves, and second of all, Graves builds Hex Drinker, he builds not Wits End, he builds Merc Treads, and he has Soraka. There's no way you kill a Graves. He has his E stacks, so he gets armor as well, which is kind of annoying. Doesn't add to the point though. But like this guy has Hex Drinker, or even Maw of Mortius or whatever it's called. He's never going to die. He has so much healing. Just give up. If he builds Death Stance too, it's completely over. So there's nothing you can do this game if you go AP here. Now this game we have AD source, AP source, AD source, AP source. Obviously, Nami doesn't really count that much as an AP source, but yeah, they had Rengar. I think I went AFK this game in Champ Select, which you shouldn't probably do, and I thought it was Rengar jungle, so I picked AP, but you could have probably gone away or gotten away with 82 here. I think AP is just a safer choice, especially if you're facing Rengar. You can play AD into Rengar, but yeah, it's whatever, to be honest. Now, this game, we have AP source, AD source, AP source, AD source, so it's very, very balanced, so you can pretty much just go either way. Now, again, since this is still, I think this was like Platinum, well, it's actually Diamond 4 already, but I still feel more comfortable carrying with AD in those games, because I do have a stronger early game compared to AP Shaco. So, yeah, I went to go AD, but could have also gone AP in this game. Okay, let's do one more. So this game is AP source, AD source, AP source, AD source. So again, very mixed. But again, since I feel more comfortable most of the time with AD Shaco, I choose to go AD. It's also, in my opinion, a lot easier to go AD into stuff like Zilean and Jhin, because they have a shit ton of movement speed. And the AP one-shot you have, with like, well, or the kills you make with AP Shaco are usually rather slow. Which means that Zilean has a lot of time to react with his R. But again, you could have gone either way here, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Again, it's just that I felt more comfortable with AD here, and I thought I was going to carry this early game, which, well, I mean, I did. So yeah, I hope this was informational enough for you to hopefully understand when to go AP and when to go AD. Again, I'm really sorry that there isn't like a general guideline for every game. A kind of checklist. I tried my best. It's just that most of it is intuition to me, and I don't ever think about it much. I just pick whatever I feel like picking. Yeah, I think the best tip I could give you is just play a lot more. Play both playstyles, and just get familiar with the playstyle. Because once you know how AD Shaco plays, and once you know how AP Shaco plays, you can kind of see which playstyle works into the enemy team better. But apart from that, I think this is it. So yeah, again, I hope you learned something. I hope you now know when to pick AD and when to pick AP. I hope the endless questions of which one is better, which one to pick is now finally over. Probably not though. But yeah, if you have any questions, comment section down below. I might make a follow-up video to this, because there's probably going to be a lot of questions. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye bye, gamers.